When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening to everybody here. It's something rumbling, y'all. It's something rumbling, okay? Period. So before we get started, y'all, this is an 18 and up live stream. Please keep the chat respectful for my co-host. Hey, New York Rican, how you doing, boo? The 6 of y'all that just walked in, please make sure y'all smash that thumbs up button on your way in and out that door, period. We're going to ask everybody to be respectful. If you have questions, ask, please, but keep it respectful in the chat. Anything that's outside respect, y'all will be muted and or kicked out of this live stream. I'm trying to provide a safe place for me and my host as well, okay? We family regardless of where we come from. That's on period. But before we get started, y'all, a moment from a word from our sponsors, okay? Oh, hey, Edna, how you doing, boo? Okay, we back again with this ring light I just received in the mail, y'all. This ring light is awesome. If you do any type of videos, selfies, social media, you need to get yourself a ring light. This ring light is amazing. Now, I know it's hard to tell here, but this ring light has 2 different spots where you hold your phone at. It comes with remote control. It has different light settings so you can change the vibe, okay? So get your ring light today. I'll leave the link down below in the description box, or you can hit up Nightbot for the link, period. So most of y'all been asking me, where did I get this microphone from? But before I tell y'all that, I want y'all to hear how it sounded before and after. I go over to my black ass baby hands, let me break something all over with no insurance and no money. I'll be working for the rest of my life. You can see she's got more rice than anything. And then she's only got a little bit of spinach, looks like, or arugula or something, whatever it's called. As you can see, this mic sounds perfect. It's crispy, clear. The sound is perfection. I'm gonna leave the link to the TikTok shop where I bought this microphone from down in the bottom on the left-hand side. Just make sure you click on the link that Nightbot will be dropping, or click the link in the description box of this video. Follow the steps, go to the video, click on the ring light, and purchase your ring light today. It's the same steps for the microphone as well. Get that sale while it lasts.
I just wanted to get on here. This is the second video that I just had to record because for some reason I just recorded a whole 10-minute video being vulnerable, and for some reason it just randomly disappeared. But basically I was just telling you guys like about the transition and my journey, and I've been on my journey for almost 5 years now, and I feel stagnant. I don't know what else I can do besides putting myself out there. I had to shave today, and that's always a touchy thing for me. It's always super touchy because when I first started transitioning, just like anything else, I thought, oh, I got this. In a year, I'll be able to get laser hair removal couple years after that, I'll be ready to have my procedure done. I'll be ready to have bottom surgery, and I'll be able to be myself, and I'll be able to exist in this world without feeling like I'm Zendaya. And a lot of people get on here and they're like, well, what made you want to transition? When did you know?
Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Okay, is that better? Okay.
Mhm.
Hello, Zen. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Um, so you know what? I'm kind of all over the place right now. I was supposed to prepare some specific questions to ask you. Unfortunately, I didn't get that done. But we're gonna go based off of raw and natural, okay? Um, so can you give a little bit of background story about yourself and how you got started on your journey as far as transitioning?
Yeah, of course. So, it was in 2018. Excuse me. It was in 2018 when when I came out to the first person, which was my sister, and I was living with her at the time, and I just told her, hey, like, hi, love. I just told her I'm not in the right body. I was like, I've always felt like this. I've never felt comfortable saying anything. And so I told her, she's like, well, my household supports you. And she was actually getting ready to have a wedding. And it was a battle between, do I wear a tux or do I wear a dress? And
Mm,
I ended up wearing the tux because I wasn't ready to socially transition. I
right.
um, or like I wasn't ready to let everybody know that I was ready to transition. And so what I did was I just would put on makeup. I would wear makeup to work. I would still wear like my regular chef uniform. And shortly after that, COVID happened, and I was able to qualify for Medicaid.
Okay.
And when I applied for Medicaid, I got approved. And literally, like a week after that, I instantly went to the doctor. I told the doctor that I was transgender and that I wanted to be on medication. And I started my hormones. Well, I was on my hormones for 3 years from the end of 2018, like the very end, like right when COVID was starting, until like the middle of 2021, which is when I met my husband, my current husband now, and I moved to North Carolina. Well, when I moved to North Carolina, I had like maybe a month worth of pills left. I moved there in May of 21. And
Okay.
I moved there and I had pills left or whatever, so I took those, then I ran out. Well, for anybody that knows, and for those of you that don't, it's like $500 for your hormones if you're not on like any kind of insurance. And since I moved and I no longer had a job and everything like that, like I couldn't afford insurance. My husband was a single father, and I had to take a break. And so after 3 years of being in my transition, I stopped taking hormones. And I was in the house all the time. I was always upset. I was taking care of my husband and my child 24/7. I wasn't thinking about me. And I didn't know. And I think that's kind of where that video you showed earlier stemmed from, because I didn't know how much of myself I was letting go by doing that. Here I am thinking, oh, well, I'm doing what's right. I'm doing what's best for my family. My family comes first. And with that happening, with me putting my family first, I forgot about me. And that caused me to be off hormones for 2 years up until recently, like 6, 7 months ago. I got back on hormones because my husband got me on this insurance and everything like that.
Now, how did that physically affect your body as far as like the appearance or emotionally affect you when you have to stop and restart again? Is there any kind of effects that it has on you?
This, the
Okay.
facial hair, the whole beard, everything like that. It started growing back in more strong. The hair here started growing back in, and my skin was super, super soft. And I mean, it's still soft. I still use lotion. So
It
it's
look good too. If you, I
yeah,
don't see a single
it,
pimple. Okay, look at me.
it's
I'm a $1, but you good. You got
soft.
some good skin.
However, it's not as soft as it was in hair. It's almost like the hair is doubling back now. Like it's coming
Okay.
back full force to the point where, like I mentioned earlier, I'm having to shave like every single day, which
Okay.
is a lot for me because I have very sensitive skin and it causes me to have like bumps and stuff under here.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
So um, that just affects me a lot, and I try to do my best by just being my natural self. However, sometimes I will be like, this is too much. I need to put some makeup over it, and that's what I was getting at earlier. Like, I truly can't wait till I get to the point where I can have laser hair, where I can afford it, to be honest. Laser hair removal, because, it burns the follicles, and once it's gone after you
So
get
it
it
never.
a year and a half, I don't have to.
Oh. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, and not only that, times it, but that also makes you feel, more in that state. You know what I mean? So the video that you did, that brought me to tears. Like, and I'm not a very emotional person when it comes to like other people's stories sometimes, but like I really sat here and cried because I mean, it's almost like I felt the pain from that video without feeling it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, so as far as your transitioning, for other people, what piece of advice can you give us as far as like it? Do you feel there's a certain time that a person should start transitioning? Because I know there's been a lot of talks in the news of minors and laws being passed of minors not being able to transition. Give us your thoughts and your opinions on that. On that, if you can.
Of course, I support everybody. However, there's still that part, even inside of me, of unconditioning, where it's like, okay, do you let a child do that? Do you not let a child do that? And I think what it boils down to is, if in a healthy way you can help your child transition and stop them from having to go through basically puberty twice, then
Mm-hmm.
I say do it in the most healthy way possible. I don't know what that is because I'm experiencing it as a grown woman. I'm not experiencing it as a child, and I know that's something my mother would have never went for at all.
Right. Yeah,
So
mind you.
I definitely say support your children. Um, and just talk to the doctors. Do A doctor knows better than any of us. A doctor knows
Right.
better than any of us how this is going to affect this child. You know what I mean? And I would just say make sure you're sure. Make sure you are 100% positive this is what you want to do, because a lot of different things comes into play. It truly does. Like, I don't it, when you're younger, there's benefits, right? You don't have to worry about the
Yeah.
deep voices. You don't have to worry about the deep voice. You don't have to worry about the facial hair growing in. You don't have to worry about, you know what I mean, like your even the top part. Like, you're gonna develop those things more naturally. And so in that aspect, I'm like, be there for your kid. However, in a mental aspect, it is a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster. The hormones take you down through there. Like, I feel emotions that I've never felt in my life. So I
Right.
do the best you can for your kid and just be supportive overall.
Because so I've often heard people say, because I've met people who have started at a younger age, and I've met people who start at an older age. Typically, what I always hear is that they say it's better as far as the physically appearance. They say
Hmm.
the appearance or features come in easier and better as a child. But with that being said, you have the mental health aspect of that too, because I've seen people who go through D transition. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel about like that may be a point or an option for a child if they go through the transition and let's say later on in life they don't feel like they made the right choice? Do you think that the transitioning is a hurt to them because they're going back and forth? Like, how do you feel? Because I don't know anything when it comes to that.
I feel that the mental warfare would be probably twice as hard, because you present it one way, you let the world know that's not how you present, That's not how you feel inside. And then you started feeling different and you take that back. And I say all the time, what it boils down to is mutual respect. Just mutual
Yeah.
respect and respecting a person for their process. Because at the end of the day, they're not hurting anybody outside of themselves. And not saying they're hurting themselves, but we're the people that have to deal with the mental warfare that comes with that. You know,
Exactly. Yes.
when I first started transitioning, I got scared for a little bit and I was like, maybe this isn't what I want to do. And I was like, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for society. I will never conform to the ways of society. And I think nowadays that detransition rate won't be as big as a factor because we have more representation now. Like I just said earlier, it's retraining your brain to be like, it is okay to be me. I don't have to be like everybody else, you know. So I think I think that's what it boils down to. It boils down to who you have around you. And because if somebody genuinely supports me, if I decided tomorrow to go back to my old self, they're still going to support
Yeah.
me. They're supporting the person. They're supporting the heart. They're not supporting the outside. They're not supporting what they think I should be or the biology. You know what I mean? Like they're supporting me
Right.
for authentically am inside.
Ooh, wrong one. I don't like this one. Okay, sorry. So now so you hear a little bit in the media, and it's starting to become like a big factor as far as like women, and then women transitioning, because that's what we're going to use today. Because I don't like to say real, and because at the end of the day, real is whatever it presents itself as, right? So women in the process of transitioning oftentimes have these feuds online because there's no kind of respect for each other. How do you feel about how does that make you feel when a person says that you're not a real woman? How does that make you feel?
To be honest, I've never been approached like that. However,
Okay,
obviously
you've
I've
heard
never
it.
seen it. And to me,
Oh,
it's heartbreaking because it's like
mhm.
at the end of the day, we're fighting about like, oh well, you ain't a real woman or you are a real woman. And
Right.
what it really boils down to is we're all fighting together. We're all
Yeah.
fighting for women's rights together. They're not just
Mhm.
taking trans women rights, they're taking natural born cis women rights as well. Like, you know what I mean? So it's crazy that we sit around and we fight about these things. And then when you look at it, it's like those trans women that you're bashing on are the same women that are coming to your house and fighting your dude or being there for you when your dude is attacking you. Y'all quick to call us, but then when we do something that you don't agree with or say, you know what I mean? I don't need a uterus to be a woman. It's like how, in one sense, oh, I respect you for being a woman. I respect you as a woman. But then on the other hand, you're like, well, but you're not a real woman. Remember that. And it's like,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
does it come from? Where does the animosity come from? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like, baby, I'm rooting for you. Why are you not rooting for me? However, then you have those trans women out here that's like, well, they mad because I look better than them and this and that. And of course, if anybody feels attacked like that, they're gonna go for what hurts.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
gonna go for your jugular. But for me, I say it takes a real strong individual like myself to be a trans
Mhm.
woman. I have to walk out of my door every day knowing that I might get clocked, knowing that I might be unalive, knowing that any and everything could happen to me just for me being myself. So I feel like it takes a strong and bold person to be able to walk in the hills that I walk in.
Sorry, I had to step out for a second.
Sure.
No, you're absolutely right. But oh my gosh, this stuff, like people don't understand. Like, even though I'm not personally going through it, it hits home for me because not only that, to see a person struggle and try to become what they are supposed to be or what they would like to be and what they're supposed to become in life, and see people get so much hate for that, it just tears me apart. Now, when New York Rican asks, do you have to attend therapy to transition?
So when here in Colorado, when I first went, I just went to my doctor. I told my doctor that I was starting my transition process and she put me on medicine. However, one of
Okay.
the requirements before you have any surgeries or anything that's like permanent, yes, you have to go to therapy. You have to have therapy, like letters written from your therapist to your doctor saying that
Wow.
you've been in therapy and you have to go to therapy for at least up to a year.
Okay. So it's not something the person can say overnight, like, oh, I want to transition. No, there's a
No,
process.
no, you
There's
have
a
to have recommendations from a therapist that this is what you want to do with your life. This is who you are.
process. Now, when you say medicine, do you mean hormone pills?
So I started out
Hormone pills?
years ago. I was on the pills.
Okay.
For the past 7 months, I've been on. I've done the shots, which is called Valorant. So I do the shot, but I still have to take the testosterone blocker.
Oh, so okay. See,
And
I
it's
didn't know there's a blocker. So not only is the estrogen, but you have to have the blocker for the testosterone too. So that way you don't have both.
correct.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
And
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
slows, that's what slows down the hair growth and everything like that.
Okay. Now, when you met with a therapist, this therapist, was this like a normal therapist, or was this like a therapist who had transitioned or who had seen the process and know a little bit about it?
She specialized, the therapist that I had, she specialized working with LGBTQ plus um and trans people.
Okay. Do you feel like it would be more helpful to have an actual person that's went through it
Yeah,
and a
it's kind
therapist, or
absolutely, absolutely. It's kind of how I actually had to drop that therapist because along with my transition, that's around COVID time, that's when a lot of the whole Black Lives Matter movement and everything like that was,
Mm,
and I wanted to talk to her about issues like that. And it's nothing against her for her race. However, it's a different level of understanding.
yeah.
It's a different level of understanding when it's a person of color that you're talking to.
Now, with that being said, let's get into a touchier topic, Black Lives Matter, because we all know how Black Lives Matter is like. People like to scream Black Lives Matter, this, that, and the other. But when it comes down to us, sometimes we don't always matter. Do you ever feel like you've been like excluded from that or ostracized? I know as a gay man, I feel like that sometimes because some cultures still don't, and Black culture still don't accept it fully. And I won't name them, but we know who. So,
I will
but
I will say our community, meaning the Black community as a whole, needs to do better
okay. Mhm.
because it's everybody's so hung up on what's right, what's wrong. That ain't what we do. Look at our Black men turn into women, all of this, all that. And that's further dividing us. That's further dividing us. That's further separating us. So we're not even fighting together anymore. We're being divided, and it's almost like it's a distraction. Because what do me getting up, putting a bra on, growing titties, and all of this has to do with us fighting together for mutual respect and rights?
Right. Exactly.
So I think we get distracted sometimes, and some people are cool. They can come in rooms, they can have conversations like this now. Because like I said, we have better representation of what it is. You know what I mean? And so it's like it is better now. However, you know how Black folks grow up. Oh, you playing with a doll, you must be gay. You doing
Yeah.
this, you must be this. Like, and it's like we were
Mhm.
told who we were before we could even decide. And we're still people,
Absolutely.
even though we were children, we're still human beings.
Mhm.
So I think when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, have I felt excluded? No, because I feel like I get the rap. And I feel like, to be honest with you, I am one of the most hated people in this world. A Black trans woman. Black, that's
Mm.
already our strike. We already
Struggle.
that every single day. And then trans, because let's be honest, more often than not,
Mhm.
the YT trans women get all of these like sponsorships and this and this and that, and everybody loving on them, and they're not as clockable because they could afford the surgeries, and and then when it comes down to the black trans girls, it's like, you really got a thing for me, but since you got such a thing for me and it won't go away up here, you rather unalive me.
So you know what? You're absolutely right. And I never really thought about that. But when I see people like, what's his name, the successful influencer that has a store in LA. It's a white guy. What's his name? I can't think of his name. But when I see him, you're right. And he doesn't get the kind of backlash. I'm sure he gets some, but it's not as strong as what a normal or as what as a African American or a person of darker skin tone would get. Lindsay asked, how long before seeing results in the blockers?
With the blockers, I would say about 6 months to a year, I started to see like really crazy thinning. Like my hair was coming in super, super thin after like 6 months to a year. I could really see a difference.
Now, do those affect your mood at all? How is your mood
Uh,
on a day-to-day basis, or just on an average day-to-day, like at the normal and then at the extreme? What should people expect?
the normal, like I just be chilling. If when I'm consistent with my medicine and taking both of my medicines, my mood is super good. If I miss a day, or I'm like, say, because I'm supposed to take my shot every Friday. So tomorrow is actually shot day. And I only have to take the shot once a week. So if I take the shot and I don't take the blockers, my mood's kind of imbalanced, and I be a crazy bitch. I won't lie to y'all. I be crazy. Like, and I'm already very OCD. I'm very particular about how I like things. And it's just like, if any wrong things goes wrong, I kind of just spaz out a little bit, or I'll just start crying. And I'm
Okay.
too much. This is overwhelming. I can't do this, and I want to run. However, that's not an option. I got a whole husband and child now.
Now, speaking of that, now how does your family, not your outside family, but your immediate family, how does your husband, how does he deal with any type of backlash or the mood swings, or what does he do to try to help, or how is he a support system in this situation?
He's very
Or oh no, that sounded wrong. I mean in your life, not situation, in your life. I'm sorry, love.
You're okay. You're okay. He's very calm. He's very calm. He's very understanding. He will do his research. He'll do his research and try to learn different things. And something that I've suggested for us to do is counseling, just so
Mhm.
he can understand me a little bit better and understand that these medicines come with mood swings, and how I explain it to him. However I come at you, my intentions are always pure, because I
Right.
like to face diversity firsthand. I faced not a diversity, adversity.
Diversity, okay.
Adversity my whole life. You know what I mean? I've went through things my entire life, and my man that grew up very privileged.
Oh,
He
okay.
grew up very privileged, so it's hard for him sometimes. It's
Mhm.
hard for him sometimes understanding why I'm so deeply rooted in doing it this way and being this way and going out there and letting the world know, like, yes, you're a nice person. However, you're not a pushover. You're going to stand 10 toes on how you feel, and you're going to stand 10 toes for your wife that you decided to marry.
Period. Now, so I forgot to also mention that Zen is on social media. She's an influencer on TikTok. She's an influencer on Instagram. I think she's gonna create a YouTube this way. Wait, I think
Mm-hmm.
she's
I
a YouTube
will.
channel. period. So I will make sure I keep y'all updated on her YouTube channel, and when it's created, make sure you guys are all able to go over there and follow this interesting, loving journey. But before we go any further, we got to take a quick moment for our sponsors, okay? Let the family, okay? We back again with this ring light I just received in the mail, y'all. This ring light is awesome. If you do any type of videos, selfies, social media, you need to get yourself a ring light. This ring light is amazing. Now, I know it's hard to tell here, but this ring light has 2 different spots where you hold your phone at. It comes with remote control. It has different light settings so you can change the vibe, okay? So get your ring light today. I'll leave the link down below in the description box, or you can hit up Nightbot for the link, period. So most of y'all been asking me, where did I get this microphone from? But before I tell y'all that, I want y'all to hear how it sounded before and after. I go over to my black ass baby is in the break $7 with no insurance, no money. I'll be working for the rest of my life. You can see she's got more rice than anything. And then she's only got a little bit of spinach, looks like, or arugula or something, whatever it's called. As you can see, this mic sounds perfect. It's crispy, clear. The sound is perfection. I'm gonna leave the link to the TikTok shop where I bought this microphone from down in the bottom on the left-hand side. Just make sure you click on the link that Nightbot will be dropping, or click the link in the description box of this video. Follow the steps, go to the video, click on the ring light, and purchase your ring light today. It's the same steps for the microphone as well. Get that sale while it lasts. Thank you. I always forget to do that. I'm so bad about that. He says, great live ship. I'm listening. What a wonderful co-host. Thank you for being here. You know, this live is directly for Zen and people to get more familiar with the struggles, the process, the pain, the hurt, the agony, and sometimes what people put you through, humiliation, just for going and being who you are. So, you know, her process is very expensive, guys. Y'all, her GoFundMe and her Cashapp have both been dropped in the chat. Nightbot is consistently dropping the GoFundMe. I've been dropping the Cashapp. I do ask you guys to please go and support her as much as you possibly can. Is this your first time actually explaining this to the internet, like in this type of setting?
Yeah.
So again, this is her first time explaining it, and she done phenomenal, okay? So I need y'all to do me a favor, okay? And please support her as much as possible, whether it be Cash App, whether it be GoFundMe. She's up here on her own time. She could have been somewhere else, but she chose to be over here with y'all dusty selves. No, no, but I appreciate everybody for being respectful as well. Back into it. So do you have any advice for the young adults who are interested and who want to start this, but don't know how to tell their friends and family? You suggest that they start it and then tell them, or tell them first? What's your opinions and your ideas on that?
I would say, first and foremost, always do what's best for you. And the reason I say that, and the reason I say don't stress too much what your family's gonna say, is because one thing I told my mother, and it stuck with her still to this day: you raised me to always be true to myself. You raised me to always be true to myself. So why, when that contradicts who you want me to be, is it an issue? And that's all I told my mom. I let her have her process. I let her make mistakes. I corrected her as I needed to. And now my mother, it made me bawl. And anybody that's in the community know this. My mom called me her daughter, and I broke down because my mom don't have representation. My mom don't know any other trans people except for who we see on TV. So when she said that, it made me know that she's trying. And it's not always easy. And how I put it, I'm a different breed. It's a transition for everybody. It's not just a transition for me. And I give people grace, and I know when people are genuinely trying.
Right.
So if there's anybody out there listening, if any of you go check out my YouTube, if any of you go check out my TikTok, anything like that, stay true to you. Love on yourself. Because, baby, it is not easy. However, if we put the work into it, we can make it there.
Okay. Amen. Now, how do you now? Because I know certain people, especially with the straight community, they are sometimes leery on asking certain things because certain people have snapped. How do you deal with when? How do you deal with that when people ask something that's offensive and they don't know?
Like I can tell the difference.
Right.
I know when somebody genuinely wants to be educated and when somebody's being ignorant.
Okay.
For me, when I tell you I'm an open book, I will explain anything about myself to anybody. Anything. When I say anything, nothing is too personal for me.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I
Uh,
want to know. And I thank you. I want to say that too.
I
Because
thank I thank you. I thank you because you
the
didn't have to do this.
first time I posted a video being vulnerable. And growing up, it was always something that we shouldn't do or that we were taught not to do.
Mhm. Gotta be
And so
strong.
now that I can be that vulnerable person, I'm about to take off. I know nothing but positivity and love and support is going to come of this because people want to see vulnerability. People want to see the actual truth of what it is to
Mhm.
be trans and what I go through, not what the people put
Okay.
on
Yes. This
not
is
what they put
different.
on TikTok and show to the world like, "Oh, I just popped up and I got this body and I got this hair and I got this." It don't happen like that. That's probably happens for 10% of trans people.
But one thing I can say to you is I love that you got up here natural. I love it because some other people are like, no, I won't go out without. And that to me is what makes not necessarily make a woman, but when a woman is comfortable in her own skin without having the makeup, that's just an added bonus, okay? When you
Hmm.
look good now, imagine you put that makeup on, period. And that's how women are every day. And the fact that you can come on here and be vulnerable, that is strength. And sometimes we often think strength is being hard, being tough, not being weak, not showing that you're vulnerable. When in reality, being vulnerable is strength.
Yeah.
That's a sign of strength to me. Now, I do have a question. Now we're gonna get to the adulty part of it, okay? How sexually has anything changed since you started the oh, you know what I'm getting ready to say? Has anything changed since you started the estrogen and started the testosterone blockers? What's changed and how much? And how do you deal with that?
Um.
Oh, hey, Tats.
Well,
Yeah, so,
beforehand, beforehand, um, I could go. I could go rounds for rounds for rounds for round and produce and produce. And now I still have the sensation.
mhm.
However, I don't, it's like blank. Like barely anything comes out, just enough to go and see it. And it's
Okay.
clear. It's now clear and it takes more work. It takes more build up. It takes more effort.
Okay. So I've only been with two women in my real life, okay? So would you like say that that's kind of the same as what a woman goes through, a cis woman as far as um her I don't know what word to use, as far as their sexual experience, as far as like how
Yeah,
hard it is for them. And
it's like how normally in that type of relationship, the man gets done and the woman's like, "Well, I didn't even get there." It's basically
right.
the same experience unless you have a partner that's willing to get you there. And it takes time. Like sometimes it can take me up to an hour to get there. And it does
Wow. Oh,
sometimes.
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Huh?
What's
What'd you
that?
say, Zen? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Boo? What'd you
Oh,
say?
I
What's the
just
last
said
thing?
sometimes it'll take me like up to an hour to get there.
Okay. Now, as far as developing the woman features, I recently found out from you and Tess the other day that it actually makes you grow real boobs. I didn't know that. I thought people were just getting implants all the time. So how long does that process start from the time you start till now, and where are you at on that spectrum?
Same for me. Like at like 6 months, 6 months to a year, I really started to see growth. And within these past like 2 years, even though I wasn't on the estrogen as heavy, I gained weight and my weight distributed different. And luckily, I got a nice set of girls.
Oh, okay, period. Now, is there any kind of pain or discomfort with that?
If I jump, if I touch them, even just doing this hurts. They're so tender. They're so tender to the touch.
Now, when you say hurt, because I know everybody's pain tolerance is different, what is your normal pain tolerance? Like, are you a type of person like me? I'm the type of person, my ears getting pierced hurts, okay? I like, and it
I
hurts
like
me. So,
pain.
you like pain?
I like pain. So it's like the best way I can describe it is when you work out and that feeling you get after you work out, that
Yeah.
soreness, it's like that but amplified.
Oh,
And
okay.
I like that feeling. So for me, it is what it is. They let me know something going on.
Working, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there any negative effects this has had on you as far as your physical appearance or your body with the estrogen? Is there anything that you can say is like, because I don't know, like, is it, I'm trying to figure out how to word that properly, but is there anything that you've experienced that is out of the ordinary, that's different,
Well, for
or
me, it was just not being able to get it there. Like it wouldn't for like the first when I first started, like I'll say maybe like a month and a half in, and 3 months after that, it would not even it wouldn't it wouldn't get there. It wouldn't get up. And I completely
oh,
lost my sex drive.
so okay, so now do you think that was because you were changing, so what used to turn you on doesn't turn you on, or it took more effort and you just wasn't providing the effort, or was it just simply not working regardless of what you did?
It took more effort, and even when I would try the effort sometimes it would just be like, bitch, I'm asleep.
Like, don't bother me, it's nap time, nighty night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, see, I didn't know that. Hmm. So, so I know before we talked about kids transitioning. I'm all for kids living their best life, but to me, in my personal opinion, when it comes to a child going through an operation, I'm leery on that. But how do you feel, and what kind of advice can you give a parent for a child who's wanting to go through that?
Like I said, talk to the doctor. And honestly, I've never known of a kid to go that far. I've known of kids being like on T or being on estrogen. I don't
Okay.
ever
Okay.
seen a situation where a kid has went through the full on surgery. For me personally, I think I would be okay with my child taking the necessary like hormones that they needed. And once they got like 16, 18, getting counseling, doing the whole process the right way, and that's still what they wanted to do, then absolutely.
Okay. Well, I feel like I forgot. Let me ask the chat. Okay, does anybody in the chat have any specific things they would like to ask? That's still here. That's still here. If you still here, just please let me know, boo. But if y'all guys have any questions in the chat, right now, if Zen feels comfortable, I will drop the link and open up the floor. But now keep this in mind, y'all. Let's be respectful, 110%. But now that means if you have something you have something that you're serious about asking, and you're not sure if it's offensive, when you come up here, message in the chat, the private chat, what you want to ask. And if it's not offensive, go ahead and ask. And if it is offensive, just move on to something else that you may ask. But I am going to open up the floor as long as Zen is okay with that. How do you feel? It'll only be 10 minutes. That will be it.
Okay, so each person, these people on this internet.
And that's how you gotta be these days. I tell you that all the time. You can't worry about people say, but to an extent, because people can boom, boom, boom. Come on up, Lindsay. Yeah. Come on up, Lindsay. So Life of Lindsay is one of my moderators over here and on TikTok. Oh, make sure y'all go follow Zen on TikTok, okay? She at 10,000. Let's try to help her get to 20, 30,000. Period. I know we got that many people in here, but everybody counts. Everybody counts. Oh, you at a stoplight. Okay. So can I ask Zen has it wait, what's the question? Oh, can I ask if Zen has seen the young woman who went through the transitioning and her thoughts on it?
Which young woman?
So you remember what I said earlier, there's a delay. So it probably might take her 30 seconds to hear what we just said. So she'll respond back. So guys, look. Oh, there she goes. TikTok. No, her name. Well, her name is being dropped through Nightbot. Let me find one of the links to Nightbot because Nightbot been dropping so many links. Okay, her Instagram is there. There's her TikTok right there. Transparent Zen. But y'all just hit the link in the chat. That'll take you directly to it. And you guys can subscribe and follow there as well. Zen does go live very often. I think Zen goes live almost every day. They might be asking. She says, I'm not sure her name. Oh, you talking about the young lady. I'll wait till Zen comes back and we can.
You could just sit right in there in your chair.
Now, I know you have a little one. So can I ask you one thing?
Hold
on. Go ahead.
1 second. Here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Close that door, please. Just chill right there. Just don't be crazy about. Yes, baby.
Now, how do you I don't know how to word the right way. See, I'm that person that I like to word stuff right, and I don't like to come off sounding crazy. But have you had to talk with your child, or what does your child say? Or kind of tell me just you know what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to put it into words.
Like we went to Florida, and we were out there to visit my husband's father, and we were in our hotel room, and I just told him, I said, hey, I said, when Mama was born.
Sound in the background. It sounded like there was an echo.
Oh, you probably. Again.
So, and when Zen comes back, you guys see that flag in the back? That is the pride flag, but it's the Black inclusive pride flag, period. Okay, y'all feel it? Because it has little thingy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, boo.
Okay. I said, basically when I told him, I was just like, hey, when mommy was born, mommy was a little boy like you. I was like, however, when I was in my later 20s, I decided that I didn't care what anybody thought and that I was going to be truthful with myself and with the people that I love. And so I decided to transition, and I take my medications, I do the things that I need to do, and I'm a woman. And he's like, well, I see you as a woman. He's like, and I'm so happy that you were able to be yourself. And actually, we just moved back to Colorado, and the first day of school, they actually talked about gender. And he came home super excited. And this is how you know it's the resilience of children, and people teach their children hate and dislike towards people. Because he was just like, I was like, what was your favorite part about school? And he told me about his whole school day. And then he goes, well, my favorite part was honestly learning about the genders. He's like, because I get to learn more about people. He's like, and I love learning more about people. He's like, and I love you. He's like, nobody can tell me that you're not my mommy.
So now that being said, I know there's been a lot of back and forth as far as how people felt about this being taught in school or how we're grooming children. Obviously, we're not trying to groom children, right? But
grooming them, grooming a child, but letting your child wear a shirt. Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
There you go. Come to the mic, yeah.
It's like, how is that grooming a child when you're at home telling your child or saying that, oh, my child gonna like that girl or he like that grown woman, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's more so grooming your child than letting your child be aware that, hey, there's different kind of people in this world. Always be respectful and always treat people with kindness.
So do you think that the fact that the schools are now trying to teach about gender and transgender, do you think that that's actually going to help and benefit the community a little bit better?
Absolutely, because it's the opposite of what people we ain't none of us dumb. Some of us are even guilty of it. People teach children hate. People teach hate. And there's nothing hateful or grooming about teaching a child about different types of people.
Well, Zen, I think that's all I have for you today. I really want to say thank you, love. I really appreciate it. And I hope in the future you can come back up here and we can, talk about other topics and other things and work together, and things like that. Because I really love your spirit. I think you have a very kind heart. And not only that, it's very genuine. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because I've seen you stick up for people in your chat. You put people out. I was like, oh, he should put it. Oh, period. You don't play, okay? And I love that about you. Keep being you. My camera, focus on me. That's my song. My camera goes out there. Celebrity says, please come back soon.
I will.
So y'all, I want to thank everybody for being in the chat. Thank you for being respectful. Make sure you guys go over and where's I dropped the wrong link. Oh, hold on, boo. Hold up. No, we can't end this yet. I gotta put this link up here one more again. Please, I'm gonna ask you guys if you can't. Oh, damn, wrong place. I'm just messing all up. If you can't financially support, please share this video out because you never know what that share might do, who it may reach, who it might touch, somebody who can help out. Because like, how much is the total package process?
Everything is probably around like 60, 70 grand.
And do you think, okay, so as far as the estrogen, does that ever stop or is that a lifetime thing in the blockers? Is that both those a lifetime thing that you're constantly having to worry about?
Mm-hmm.
So that $500 expense is never going to change.
Nope.
Period. So you guys, please, y'all make sure if you're able to help, please donate to the Cashapp or the GoFundMe. I dropped the Cashapp right here. That would mean the world to me, guys. But yeah, that's all I have today. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go over to TikTok, subscribe to Zen over here, and go to Instagram as well. But always remember, stay blessed, stay positive, and stay motivated. And I will see you lovely, smiley faces in the next live stream. Bye.
Is it never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.